What is happening, everyone? Welcome to GBALL Vision. Tonight we are talking about some knives that haven't even been out for a year yet, and you have already forgotten about them. I like doing these videos because with the amount of knives that we see on a daily basis, with the amount of knives that come out every month, it is very easy for a good knife, a great value, a great EDC knife that was once raved about by many to easily get forgotten about, to get passed by, for it not to even be a thought of someone snagging that knife. I like bringing these back into the spotlight because they performed very well. They were fun to carry. They had a good, affordable price tag. Easy to get one. They were not out of stock all the time or very hard to get. And I think those are some things that people look for. Easy to get, good value, not a ton of money, but still maintaining a good build. Like this O-Knife Freeze 2 here. These come in well under $100. 154 cm, PVD coated blade. You have this nice drop point, very versatile blade shape. You have aluminum scales. You have great access to that liner, easy to disengage this thing. You have some nice fine jimping about halfway up the blade. You have open construction with internal milling. You have a nice deep carry, two-way reversible clip. And it's a fantastic knife. It's not overly big. It's not too small. It is comfortable in hand, good materials, great blade shape. This is hard to beat. I don't like the O-knife on the front, but that's my only real negative to this knife. They could have put a chamfer on the liner, but, you know, not a huge loss there. The O-Knife Freeze 2, well-tuned and very fun to carry. I don't remember exactly when. I want to say about halfway through the year or so. Kaiser's is one of them companies that puts out a ton of knives every single month. But this one really stands out to me. They definitely have quite a few, but this one really stands out to me. Not only did they do a little more of a premium version in this one, they have a more affordable version coming in 154 steel with micarta handles that are very nice micarta handles. This one is coming in 4V with aluminum handles, and this thing is an absolute monster. The Kaiser Cobalt 2, 4V, beautiful sheep's foot blade. I love this little swoop down here. It's a perfect place to get that nice controlled grip for those detail cuts. I love how it has this little bit of belly that tails upward, a nice cutout. Easy to thumb flick, easy to reverse flick. And then it has this very unique front flipper that actually works very well. I rarely, if ever, miss this when I carry it. It is fantastic. These are not much more than $100. Aluminum handles, 4V steel. You have a nice deep carry pocket clip here, will not be reversible. They kept the show side clean. You have this cool little milling pattern there. Good sharpening choil, pretty good sharpening choil. The action's incredible. Everything came well finished, well fit, centered. Lockup is good on this guy. A fantastic knife, guys. The Kaiser Cobalt 2. If you like the looks of this knife, I can highly, highly recommend it. As much as I have bumped this camera, that is how much I recommend this twice. So you've seen this knife on and off, you know, over the year because I'm a huge fan of this knife, the CJRB Riff. This has not gotten much play from anyone as far as I really know. I mean, people definitely checked it out, but this has an incredibly strong button lock action that is great. It's incredibly strong, meaning it truly feels like you're flicking a knife that has a detent. And when it comes to button locks, that is very hard to do. Go out and try some button locks because, you know, they're getting better. try some of the earlier button locks, and still some to this day have a very weak opening action, and this is not it. Powdered RPM 9 steel, clip point blade, deep well fuller, flipper tab, good access to the button. Button is well done. You have these collars here, nice micarta handles. You have that little triple milling pattern there, and then you have a deep carry, and it is going to be reversible for our left-handed brothers out there. The Riff, a fantastic knife that I've covered many times this year in various formats. I love this thing. If you're looking for a unique button lock that has incredibly good action, and there's multiple other people who bought this knife who verify it's either the best button lock they have or it's the best button lock action they have ever handled, this thing is fantastic, coming in probably around 60, 65 bucks. It's a fantastic knife that deserves the spotlight, deserves the attention. CJRB Riff is one of my favorite button locks of the entire year. Probably one of my favorite button locks ever. Yes, you remember this one, don't you? Now you remember the Kaiser Drop Bear. This thing was raved about for quite a long time, and Kaiser really milked it. They came out with 4 or 5 or more different versions, different steels, different handle materials. It was a great knife to do that with. The Escort was also another one that came out around the same time and is absolutely incredible. I've been saying it all year. Benchmade created the crossbar lock, and Kaiser perfected it. They have done a fantastic job with their adjustable crossbar lock. They call it the clutch lock, and it is just incredible. It's still not quite up to a true detent feel on the open, but when you increase that spring strength and have strong springs in there, it is very fun. That closing action is equally as fun. It just goes home. You pull those tabs down and there is no resistance, barely. That thing just closes. It's smooth. 154 cm. You have that spear point like blade. Nice satin, tumblish finish. Black aluminum scales. Open construction. Steel liners for some added toughness. Dual thumb studs. I did change them out. I have one satin, one coated on this knife and the Escort because they are basically older brother, younger brother, or big brother, little brother in a sense. Deep carry clip. It'll be reversible for the lefty brothers out there. Kaiser Drop Bear. If you have not experienced this knife, if you have not experienced the crossbar lock, or if you haven't experienced the clutch lock, I highly recommend you check this knife out if you like a medium-sized knife. If you like a little bigger knife, check out the Escort. It is, and this is, absolutely an incredible EDC knife, an incredible remake of that crossbar lock. This is the future of the crossbar lock, and I hope to see it in many, many other knives in the future. You know, obviously in Kaiser's, but I hope other companies start experimenting with this type of thing. Just a great knife, guys, and if you haven't experienced the Drop Bear or Escort, I highly, highly recommend you go out and at least pick up the most affordable version that you can find, which would probably be this one. They might have a cheaper one now that's in micarta. I highly recommend it, guys, or go big and get some crazy handle material and steel. Just pick yourself up one of these because they are fantastic. Next up, we have the SAVI Spiny Dogfish. Crazy ass name. This is a Gavco design. 14C 28N on the blade steel, and look at that blade. What an awesome looking blade shape. It's sheep's footy. It's got this crazy two style grind here. It looks like a hollow going into a flat nice pokey tip. You have some other swedging going on. Nice long cutout. This is awesome. Detent is tuned perfectly. Got a nice, it's tuned perfectly for me, I should say. It's got a little bit more spice on it, a little stronger. Good access to that liner with some jimping on that bad boy. Nice deep carry clip. You have this rock texture pattern here on the G10 handles, steel liners. This is a great little EDC knife. It's not small, but it's not a big knife either, and it has the ability for you to, get a little bit of finger in there and get right up on that tip if you need to. Love this knife, and this thing, I've even forgotten about it a couple times this year. Great EDC knife. If you're looking for straight EDC, even it's got the work vibes, don't want to spend a ton of money on a knife, this is a perfect option for you. It's going to do everything very well while maintaining a good look. Strong, tough, corrosion resistant, 14C28N. It's going to be a good user steel, minimal hardware. This thing is awesome looking. Very unique design from Gavco and SAVI. Yeah, buddy, the AM8 Knives Prayer 2. This knife comes in around 150, 160. Sometimes you can probably get it lower. This knife came out this year and really put my eyes on AM8 and Miguron. S90V for the blade steel. You have this nice coated clip point style of blade. Nice little swedge going to the tip. You have this nice cutout and rear flipper tab that is extremely well done. And the detent is tuned very well. You can thumb flick this guy out, reverse flick it. You can slow roll him. Exposed frame lock. You have a milled tie clip, titanium backspacer, good access with a chamfer and jimping on the lock bar. And then you have this awesome diamond milled texture pattern on the titanium. Looks awesome. It feels really good. I've really used this knife hard this year, and it's one that I recently just got out after a while of being in the case and forgetting about it. And I was like, man, this is a fantastic knife. It's extremely comfortable. I've been using this, on and off all year, and it's held up very good. That coating's good. That S90V is good. And then it's also very fun to mess with because of that strong detent and that awesome closing action. Oh, the AM8 Knives Prayer 2, definitely high up on my list. Next up, we got the Fox Knives Chillin. This is designed by Voxnez, coming in M398 with a nice satin finish. You have this kukri Chillin style blade with that really pronounced drop to the tip, and you have that elongated belly going to the tip. Love this style of knife because when you have this in hand straight, your tip is already well below your hand. It makes doing a variety of cuts a lot easier and gives you the ability to have good control, make them detailed cuts. You have this awesome teardrop cutout. The thumb and reverse flick are both fantastic. Detent is tuned very well. You have these aluminum coated pivot collars. This is sporting an aftermarket Lynch Northwest pocket clip. You have good access to that liner with some nice grabby jimping. This knife, I love it. It's a little more on the premium side of things because of that M398 and the carbon fiber that they use. Fantastic stuff. It is also going to have a reversible pocket clip feature for the lefty brothers out there. Comfortable in hand, great blade shape. The Vosteed Knives Nightshade is also a very similar design as this, but they make an affordable version in the Chillin. I would probably lean towards going with the Nightshade unless you planned on going big and getting this version. I would probably go with one of the versions of the Nightshade for the money. The more affordable version of this is coming in N690, where the Nightshade comes in 154 cm, I believe. If it's not 154, it's 14C, but I believe it is 154 on the Nightshades. And I would take the Nightshade over the budget form of this one, but I would take this one overall. I love this knife. You'll have to let me know down in the comments, what's a knife that you've gotten in the last year and actually forgot you kind of had that knife? Or let me know if it's ever happened where you've bought a knife, put it away, and actually forgot about it, just period. Doesn't have to be something you bought in the last year. But let me know if that's happened to you. It definitely happens to me fairly often. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new to the channel or you've been here before and you're not subscribed to the channel, come join the GBALL Vision family. I'd love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.